Morning everyone, I'm back on it again today. How you doing? Just show you what I've been up to actually. I put in this cross beam in today, and this is part of the mezzanine floor, and the reason why I put it in is because obviously when I well, it's not obvious really, when I start building up the wall, it'll be good to have it in early so I can build the timbers around it. And also I don't want to be bashing into anything while it's going up. Had a few issues as always. It's gone in quite snugly there, but the biggest issue I've had really is the fact that a couple of my fixing bolts broke while I was trying to map out my cuts, and unfortunately that meant the timber's got to stay in place, so I've had to sort of chisel round it. And on this timber here there's actually 4 fixings, primarily because one broke in while it was going in and another snapped underneath, so I'm not impressed with those. So I decided to put a big bolt all the way through this log and then comes out at the top as well. So there's 4 bolts holding it at that end. So this timber is probably, well, it's about 9 inches in diameter and it's beech. That's 6 meters long, and that goes all the way over there into that corner. And this is just a cross beam I've just put in just so I can sort of visualise the mezzanine layer. My kids were actually a bit worried there wasn't enough space, but actually I think there's going to be space for probably 3. And what I'll do is just overhang it by a foot or so, just so it's just got a little bit more space up there. Yeah, it's looking good. Oops. I'll just stand back. So there we go, that's in. I've had to cut it about 2.5–3 inches into the log on the underside of it, just to fit it upwards, just to create a bit more head height. So I'm 6'2", so it's probably about 6'4". So anyone above that sort of height, or 6'3½" maybe, you might end up hitting the head on the top of it, but I can fit underneath it. So there's a little support pillar just going in here, which I've just screwed into place. It's got a nice gnarly bottom to it. I'll tackle that with a sander probably tomorrow, just to finish it off, get the sharp edges off that, and that really just supports that timber. This timber here going across. So as I say, that's 6 meters from one pillar to the next, and it's taken me all day to get in because it is one heavy beast. So I'll put another support timber going in here down this side. I'll try and make it as close to the edge as possible because there's going to be a kitchen worktop there, so it'd be good if it can come out just beyond the kitchen worktop sort of space. So that'd be about sort of 600 mil. So that's pretty good. Really pleased with that. Shame it's not a little bit higher, but can't really do much more about that. I made a bit of a mistake, and got to live with it. But there's certainly enough height to get up there for the kids, and there's enough head height for anyone who's less than 6'3". So, not much else to report. I rendered this up last week. It's currently freezing here, so I can't really do anything in terms of rendering. Not that I was really planning to anyway. This is all drying off nicely. It's starting to go a sort of whitish colour in places. I've done around the toilet box area, just giving that top a quick sand. As I say, I need to make a nice big hole in there for the Lucy. This is the pillar I just put in, and yeah, that's drying off really good. I've had a few strange cracks and noises going on today, and I think it's just because I put so many massive bolts into this timber. So I'll just give you a little look from the inside of the entrance, and there you go, there's that big timber going across there. I'm pleased to get that in because that's a bit of a handful to carry through the forest and get in, and I'm just pleased it's now in place. Needs to do a bit of work on it just to get it finished off and fully fixed. But I don't think that's moving, and certainly when it has another support underneath it there, like that one on the left side over there, that will be more than sufficient, I think. I've been hanging off it and it's not moving, so with the support in there and a few other timbers in there to brace it up, I really don't think that's going to be moving at all. So pretty pleased with that. I'm just give you a quick scan around. I've had a bit of a tidy up. It's only taken me a year, but all this rubbish looks like a mess still, but believe me, I've cleaned up a hell of a lot. So a lot of that's all gone. That's just looking in. This is the timber I've just put in there. You can see those huge fixings. It's got 4 of them in that side, and I don't think that's moving. And that also helps brace up the roundhouse. It just pulls in one corner to the other, and gives it a nice bit of triangulation in there. So there's a couple of reasons why I did it like that. Can't really think of anything else really. That's the back, drying off nicely. That's what I rendered last week. They're starting to go pale now. Need to clean that window up pretty soon. Tidy up that little plastic, sort out the bit of roof there and up there. Lime wash this and lime the bottom, so that will all be done eventually. That's looking good. I've just shortened these off, these end pieces of timber, and I just need to get some plugs, make some dowels to go in there. Just tidied up around that one and around the bottom log, and just skim around the edges there with a brush, just to cut back the timber so it shows through. I need to give that window a clean. But no, this has come up really well. I'll be interested to see how waterproof it is. I'm sure I'm going to get a few damp spots here and there, and yeah, I need to clean this up. So no, this is good. I put a bit of a lime wash on yesterday. That's the normal colour, and that's a little bit with a lime wash on. That's only one coat, but it's really odd stuff. When you put it on, it just sort of runs off, and then you give it an hour or so and you can start seeing the colour coming through. So they reckon about 4 or 5 coats of that. I'll do that as and when, like the other 1001 jobs. But this is coming on, dried nicely. Nice big window in there. Again, just need a bit of a tidy up. This renders a little bit patchy, and that's probably because I had to build up the layers on there while it was going off, and it was a particularly sunny day when I was doing it, so I should have really covered it. But it's dried nice and hard, so I can't complain. And this is the log that's been worked on today. So those fixing holes will be covered. I'll tidy up this end piece. You can see how big it is. Well, my hand span is 9 inches, so that's actually 8 inches in diameter, that log. And yeah, and that's the support over there in the distance. So this is coming on. Mezzanine has started, and I'll probably get the fixings and the flooring, not the flooring, the joisting of the mezzanine done before I do this wall here, because obviously, well, not obviously, it's because I'm going to bring some timbers across, probably on the underside of here somehow. Not really sure how I'm going to do this, but I'll find a way. And that's it really. Wander around, back to the entrance. This is all coming up nice, this is all dried nicely. And I'm just starting to just sand around these timbers here, just to get off some of the dirt and grime and filth that's been building up and around there. But no, this is good. So there's certainly no water coming in here. Certainly nothing coming in on the roof on the entrance, which I'm really pleased about. It's nice to know it's watertight there. The left hand side is all pretty much watertight at the moment, and the right side will be shortly, so I really need to get cracking on that. And not really looking forward to it because it's a bit of a height up there. And then all the other jobs. So this timber's in today, got the support in. I'll probably crack on with another support tomorrow, get as much done on the mezzanine as I can, and then start filling up those, or that void that you can see there, and the one with the tarp on. I need to get some logs and start cutting that in and start working on that. So the sooner I can do that, the better, really. And yeah, it's coming on. Looks like a mess, but I did actually have a big tidy up last week, but it's because I've been peeling in here. It just builds up really, really quickly. And as I say, this log here, it's a bit gnarly at the bottom, as you can see. I've got lumps and bumps and sharp bits, so I'll hack those off and sand them down, because you don't want to be catching your legs on those as you're walking past. And I think it'll actually look okay once that's in. Well, it's certainly in at the moment, it's not moving, but when it's finished off, more to the point. And that's just going across. So, another job done. It doesn't look like much, but when you're trying to lift this thing 10 times up and down, and then you get bolt snap on you, it just takes you so much longer. If you had an extra pair of hands, it would be so much simpler, but you have to make do. So I'm using sort of tools like this. It's a chain winch, and that can hold 4 tons, and I've actually put so much force on that today using it, pulling up this big timber, because I just can't lift it for more than 5 minutes. It's just too heavy, even on my shoulders. I've been hoisting that up with a big old chain like this, putting it round the log, hoisting it up, and I put so much force into it I was actually lifting the ring beam and actually making a render crack round the side. So that's interesting, but I'm not worried about that. That will probably just slip into place when I lowered it down. But there you go, all is done, and finish that log off, get this pillar sorted out and put another one in. Looking good. Right, not much else I can say really. That's it for me today. I'll be down tomorrow, fingers crossed, and as long as I'm not snowed off, because at the moment it's absolutely freezing. I've got a bucket of lime wash, which is currently ice wash, so certainly anything to do lime related, just not going to be bothering for the next few days. So that's it, I'm off, can have a tidy up, and then I'm shooting home. See you then.